Today we're with Sarah Zhou, Supply Planning Manager for Queensland for Parmalat, Australia. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
My first question to you is, can you describe the importance of effective supply chain management, especially for the industry that you represent, the fast-moving consumer goods?
Yes, and our company produces dairy products, so it's like with extremely short shelf life and with very dynamic market. So I would say effective supply chain is crucial to us. It's vital. Like you can put all the important words on that. So it's very, very important. And we are actually, it's a competitive advantage for us to have an effective supply chain against other competitors.
Right.
Yep.
So how would you describe the supply chain challenges at this point, especially for the FMCG market?
Yeah, the challenge would be actually at the moment we're facing with stronger and stronger demands from the retailers. So we have to like shorten our lead time for a lot of things, like for the new product developments, and we have more and more products with specific to each customer and like with small volumes. So that's not what the factory would like because it's not like well operational efficient, but that's the market. So at the moment, so demanding retailers, demanding customers, and with more products, with small volumes, and with much shorter lead time.
Right.
Yeah.
So how in this demanding, dynamic times from the marketplace, what kind of systems, what kind of IT, what's the role of IT in this kind of an environment?
Well, I think it's very important for us to have a proper supply chain management system. So at the moment, like our company use SAP SCM, it's also called APO in previous years. So that system actually allows us to respond much quicker to the demand to the marketplace. So with that system, like we are able to do a lot of things. Like we control the sales forecast side, and we together with the S&OP process. So it's a system plus process. So with those combined, we can have a very reliable demand forecast. So with that and with the system SAP SCM, it's very easy to like flow that through to the production requirements and also the material requirements upstream. So and it's quick for us to check availability, for example. So it's just like visible, like provides the visibility to the whole supply chain.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that kind of an IT landscape, what's the dominant role that IT plays on the business processes at Parmalat?
Actually, I think, with IT, it's very important to have a proper system in place. So although we have very good ideas, we know that logically how things should work, but without a good IT technology, it's impossible. So now, like with the system that we are using, actually the system provides how do we call it, state of art or the benchmark of all the other industries that they're using. So we kind of align our process a little bit to the IT, but still with the ability to customize a lot of things for ourselves. So I would say, like with IT's help, it's of a great help for.
Just that leads me to the next question. How is your what is Sarah Zhou's day like with systems? What sort of examples can you throw in to see the importance of the role of IT?
Yeah, well, for example, I would start with maybe my team members, like for the day-to-day plan, like every day in the morning, we sit in front of the system to check the production plan, to generate the next day's production plan. And after that, we hand over to the manufacturing for the real production. But on weekly basis and monthly basis, we do a lot of analyses, like the service level histories and troubleshooting where problems happens. And also a very important thing for us is the capacity planning.
Right.
So we need system all the time to provide us with projection of the future volumes, future consumptions. So with the capacity planning tool, then we're able to project what's the cost behind that and how we better align all the other resources to the projected volume that we're going to sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Now talking about projections and the volumes, your business is dairy products, so very sensitive to weather, very sensitive to climate conditions.
Yes.
How accurate or how predictable are these things with the models that you use?
Yep. In our demand planning system, we can build a baseline promotional activities and seasonalities. So there is very dynamic, but if you compare year to year, like the seasonality is always similar year to year. And with the promotion, like you can pretty much like project your next promotion based on what happened last time. So in that system allows us to put all the projections in based on history and also the inputs from a lot of people.
Right.
So we have many adjustments every here and there.
Yeah.
And also with production side, like when the sales forecast is translated into the production plan, so we actually work with the factory to see like, do we fit into the capacity? If not, how do we level that out? So we do stock build, or we reduce or play with the safety stock. There are a lot of things to play with to fit into capacity.
Right. Yeah.
But everything, like the system provides a fantastic tool to do all these.
Okay. Well, by having such tools in your sort of the IT portfolio, where do you see the real impact of supply chain planning IT systems have on? Is it on cost reduction? Is it on waste reduction?
It's a lot, yeah. So like cost reduction for sure, because like we have more than 500, 600 different products.
Right.
So just what we produce ourselves, and we buy a lot of products from other companies. So with those, and with so many manufacturing sites and locations, there are thousands of different combinations that we need to review.
Yeah.
So the system actually provides a very good insight. Well, it's very reliable to plan on a day-to-day basis. So we only need to focus on maybe the problematic products.
Yeah.
So that's a huge cost reduction rather than having a lot of people reviewing all the details all the time. And the waste reduction, and it's a very big focus for us. Like for us, I think the biggest challenge is the like stock losses due to like out of code, like not fresh anymore, like unable to sell before the proper use-by date.
Yeah.
So that part, like we put a very big focus on that and to reduce that. And the system actually helps us to identify where the potential waste is.
Okay.
So we can do a lot of things. Like if we identify that way in advance, then we can say work with our customers to see if they can maybe increase their stock holding by ordering a bit much more on us. And there are a lot of things that we can do. So it's very good that the system can highlight such issues well in advance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about customers, the retail market in Australia, on one side, it's very skewed towards the two large retailers. Yes. On the other side, very small players are taking into a very dynamic market.
Yeah.
How does Parmalat deal with this, especially from a systems point of view?
Well, we try to, like with the two biggest retailers, we try to incorporate their system output into our system as well. So every now and then, like almost like a couple of times a week, we ask for the system output from their systems, like their reports, what they project to order against us.
Wow.
And then we review our numbers in our system. So that actually helps a lot helps a lot
to manage the stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And then with the small customers, it's kind of like not as ideal as the retailers because they may not have as good systems. But with our system, it provides the separate segregated areas for the sales people to maintain the volume for the small accounts. So with their inputs, it's so easy to just modify the numbers in our systems, and also like small accounts can come up with their very unique products. Yeah. So when that comes up, when we see the request, then with the system, it's so easy to see what's the available capacity, what are the potential issues, and we can solve that. Right. So like I think with the IT system that we're using, like SAP SCM, it provides very good visibility of where we can do things and where the problems are.
Right. Has the system influenced beyond what you do with supply chain, for example, introduction of new products or introduction of new warehouses?
Oh yes, yeah, a lot. Actually, at the moment, like we've been working on a project of a new warehouse for quite a bit of time already, and we it's although it's in distribution, like well, it's still within supply chain, but it's within another department. But every now and then we are asked to provide forecasts like volume projections.
Yeah.
So it's not only the current products, but also like what we're doing in the next couple of years. So what are the new new potential volumes, and what are the assumptions that we put into our volumes? So with all this information, like the distribution, the warehouse team actually found it very, very helpful for them to make decisions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question, Sarah. What would be Sarah Zhou's ideal supply chain management system would look like?
Oh, wow. My ideal system, if we can, like for us, the biggest challenge is still the variance of the demand forecast.
Yeah.
So I would say that ideally, if we can incorporate, like integrate all the supply chain systems all together from downstreams to with our retailers and upstream with our suppliers, like if we can, everyone can run like seamlessly integrated into one single system, then we have visibility from the consumer demand up to the material availability. So that would be very ideal for us.
Sarah Zhou, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.